Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 Japanese cruiser Mogami. I'm running with 15 guns, 16 torpedoes, 8 secondary guns, 50 AA guns, and a top speed of 35 knots. The guns are the 155mm variant. It has increased rate of fire, and it has 5 extra guns. So there's a lot of AT damage that can be done by these guns, and I'll probably never use AP ever with this setup. Just because setting the enemy on fire and the smaller caliber makes it harder for any penetration. So we see a Nagato. We're going to fire on that Nagato, and we're going to reveal ourselves to the Nagato. The Mogami has pretty good surface detection. It's something like the enemy has to be within 11 kilometers or 12 kilometers, so she's pretty stealthy for a cruiser. But we choose to take advantage of our guns. A lot of the success of a Mogami or a Cleveland is making sure you use your gun cooldown every time you can. When we land 10 of our 15 shots, we do 6.5k damage, which is nice. And I switch to fire to the cruiser because it's an easier target, and he goes invisible right as I decide to fire. So it missed all of those rounds, but he's going to appear soon. And there he is, the Atlanta. The Atlanta is a Tier 7 premium ship. It has extreme rate of fire, but it has a short range. So you can take advantage of that short range by staying outside of it. I think the range is something like 13.5 kilometers. And we land a really big salvo. And yes, the guns on the Atlanta are paper thin. They blow up a lot. So it's a different kind of ship. You just need to be careful with it. And as the Mogami, I'm just going to take advantage of it. You see I destroyed 2 more guns. I think he's only got 2 back guns working and 1 front. And man, we're just working this guy down. Friendly helps with a lot of damage. And he's either going to burn down or die. He burned. So we got the kill. So, right off the bat, we've killed an enemy cruiser that came into our area. Looks like a friendly destroyer died. And this weapons fix on relative. This is a Control X ability. So what it'll do is it'll allow me to lock the guns towards the facing while I turn, and I locked it to the starboard side. So now that we're in the orientation that we want, we can turn the weapon fix relative off, and there you go. Now we have control of the guns, and we didn't have to like right click hold a certain aiming direction. You can do that too. So we're doing great on this side of the map. Unfortunately, not so much on the other side. We need to push our advantage over here, take pressure off of the point in the middle of the map that we're losing. The enemy will be less interested in pushing their advantage if we can move into their base area and threaten them with taking the capture point and also doing damage to their battleships and any ship that might be staying in the back. So we got some Atlantas here. Just, for some reason, a lot of Atlantas were in this game. We already take out 2 of their guns on the back. We're just going to keep firing on these guys. They fire on the forward cruiser, which is unfortunate for him, but we won't waste his opportunity to absorb the damage for us. And yep, we trying to help out that bomber if we can, but it kills it before we're able to have success there. I'm moving to try and fire on the Atlantas that are line of sighting me with the island. For some reason, the enemy carrier keeps his fighters close by, so we're able to pick off a couple of them before he moves them away. When you don't have aircraft to kill, I would move away from the enemy. And I was like, having flashbacks. But we're okay. There's no torpedoes that are coming our way. Just need to keep in mind where they're going. And I put the weapons fix relative. I want the weapons to be ready on the port side. And I want to be able to fire when I come around the island. And it looks like one of the Atlantas died. And I'm like, be careful, they're breaking through. We need to keep people who are in the area to defend. It's very important that we don't lose control, because then that would put pressure on us on the western half to come back and defend. So this enemy Colorado is in great firing, broadside, really easy shot. Want to get a lot of HE damage on him. I want to set him on fire. As long as he's going to stay broadside, it's an easier shot for me to hit his command tower, his smokestacks, and set him on fire, the back half. And if you get a chance to set something on fire, you really should try and spread the fire around the dot stacks, and it does a lot of damage eventually. So one of his shells over-penetrated and just destroyed our turret. But luckily, in the game right now, when you destroy a module like a turret, you actually just destroy that module. It doesn't do any damage to the ship itself, so maybe they'll change that, but right now, it's just an inconvenience to lose one of my guns. Oh, enemy battleship died. Switch to the next target that's in range. The Nagato from the beginning of the game has no interest in fighting us. He's retreated all the way back behind his island. This Atlanta is certainly in range, and we're going to take advantage of that. And the Atlanta is pretty bulky with modules, so it's pretty easy to land your HE rounds above the hull, where they'll do the maximum amount of damage, both to the ship and to the modules. And we're at plunging fire range, so it really is irrelevant. It's gonna just go down. We're aiming poorly, unfortunately. And there's 2 enemy destroyers in our base. Luckily, we have a cruiser, and we have 2 friendly battleships dealing with them, and the carrier is apparently sending their aircraft over, so that's great. We're gonna try and kill this Atlanta. Aim better, Notser. And yeah, there we go. We set him. No, we critically damaged him. Someone else set him on fire. And I'm just keeping in mind what the Nagato's doing, because he's on my flank. My guns aren't pointed at him. Come on, kill this guy. Nope, we don't get the kill. That's okay. We do some damage to him, though. The Nagato is firing on us. I believe he's using HE, based on the explosion. Yeah, it's definitely HE. We just took out one of our AA guns. And the nice thing about Japanese cruisers is you have the ability to use torpedoes. So I'm going to use the torpedoes on my port side. And I'm considering narrow, but wide is a safer method to have a torpedo make contact. Whereas narrow, if he is successful at dodging, he's going to dodge all damage. You can just see the amount of damage this ship does to even battleships with HE. And we miss, unfortunately. We have to deal with the island. Better planning, maybe we could have sailed in a more advantageous manner so we could keep damage on the target. But we're of course going to turn before this small island is an issue. I don't even need to look at it. I'm aware that it's right there on the minimap. That's why I play with... Actually, no. Here on this game, the minimap defaulted back to its small size, but usually I'm with a very large minimap, so I can see every detail. Looks like the enemy carrier is sending out his squadron, so I want to keep that in mind. And I always select torpedo bombers. They're a bigger threat than the dive bombers. This is, when you select a enemy squadron, it keeps every gun that can shoot it in range 100% on that target. And look at the way these torpedoes came out. And it just barely avoiding and taking dive bombers, so another set of dive bombers are coming, so I'm holding my damage control. This Atlanta conveniently came back in range, so I'm just going to kill him. And the final dive bomber has gone. So I should be using, yep, there goes damage control. Come on, let's kill this Atlanta and move on. Please don't set us on fire. Yeah, of course he sets us on fire. That's what the Atlanta does. One more salvo, we picked up one of his guns. That's just what happens on the Atlanta. So many dead guns. But he sets us on fire. We're gonna take pretty good damage. There's enemy fighters in the area. And our AA is going off. The way AA works is if you select a target, it will be your primary focus for every gun that can fire on it. And that's range dependent because AA in this game is just like a bubble around you. It's really not actually firing. It's just for show. You just do damage over time, and eventually they'll die. And the way I like to do AA is I focus on torpedo bombers first, and if I can, I use defensive fire. When I can't, I try and maneuver when the dive bombers are coming, because dive bombers have a egg-shaped attack run, so you want to really like maneuver, minimize the hull that it can hit. And this Nagato is really elusive. He really does not want to die. I don't blame him. So it's more important that I do damage to targets that are not taking damage to me, that I can do damage to. I can move towards the eastern half of the map and get in range of both the Cleveland and the Fuso. Cleveland's so low that I really will probably use my next salvo on the Cleveland, try and get it killed. Okay damage to the Fuso. These guys look like they're sailing rather slow. And come on, kill the Cleveland. Just need 1 or 2 land. There we go. Cleveland's dead. Just these 2 battleships and the 2 carriers on the east. This Fuso is sailing very slowly. I want to hit the center mass. He's got a lot of empty space. It's just the way the Fuso is built with all the different turrets all around it. And we're just on the edge of where the fire is plunging. We're not really doing a lot of damage. Thankfully he misses all his rounds. That would have been bad. We're broadside with him. I just want to make it a hard shot for him. And we have success there, and we set the back on fire, which is awesome. And he puts it out with damage control. We know that the cooldown has just been used, and he'll kind of be immune to fires for the next 2 salvos. And he chooses to fire on a closer target, probably that friendly battleship that's south of me. I'm all for that. And the Nagato just died. But we're able to continue firing. He's not interested in us killing off AA guns, but no, it's not really a big deal at this point. Ooh, friendly battleship did a lot of damage there. We're able to set him on fire. We got Confederate, nice. But for me, I was worried that we might have to tap out and give up these carriers. So I'm just maintaining forward momentum, trying to move towards the carriers. Looks like that friendly battleship died. He was rather close to the enemy, and he was taking fighter. Ooh, someone did a big damage there. So now there's just 2 enemy carriers left, and I'm getting bombed, and his bombs miss. He's almost in range, making sure all my guns are ready to go. And this carrier is not going to enjoy this. The setup I've got is devastating against carriers. They're just such a big target with no armor. Sometimes the HE round will actually penetrate the citadel. So that's just like bonus. But we're going to set him on fire, that's for sure. And we're going to prevent his squadrons from being effective. Looks like they destroyed the other carrier. Someone's like, screw it, I'm going to cap because he's probably not in range. I'm going to try and kill this guy before they cap out. Almost in range. And now he's going to feel the full brunt of my 12 guns at this point.
Scout destroyed.
And, of course, oops, I missed my first shot. Badly. That's why you do ranging shots. And we set him on fire. 2 fires. Nice. Just look at the damage we're doing. Each salvo. Taking off, looks like 1/8 of his health each salvo. And the fire's doing a lot of dot damage. He's gonna die so fast to this. We get high caliber too, which is cool. And if it's not this one, it's gonna be the next one. And there you go. Oh, he put out the fire. Let's finish it. Yeah.
We've sunk an enemy
And
aircraft
that's the
carrier.
Mogami. Mogami's great. It's another easy win. No, not really. Gotta keep the guns going. 232 rounds landing. That's the strength of this build, just like the Cleveland. Know your next target. Take advantage of them. Keep them lit up for extra dot damage. So yeah, a lot of damage, clearly. I hope you enjoyed seeing this Mogami gameplay, and I'll catch you guys next time.